What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Tacoma Kenny here. If you're new to the channel, I do videos on camping, hiking, overlanding, Toyotas, off-roading. If you find any of that kind of stuff interesting or entertaining, think about subscribing. Got two special redheaded guests today on the channel, the Dobinsons twins here. We're going to be doing an install on these front coils. They're the 822s, which are, according to Dobinson, rated for 110 to 220 pounds of front end weight. Currently, I don't have anything on the truck on the front, so it's supposed to give 2 inches lift with the weight. Expecting more 2.5 out of this today without any weight on it. But I'm excited to say that I've partnered up with my new sponsor, Chassis Unlimited, to try out their ProLite high clearance front bumper on the truck. Should be here around the first week of December. We'll be doing an install video and review on that as well later down the road. If you don't want to miss that, make sure you click that subscribe button. Also, for these new Tacomas or any of the new Toyotas, if you haven't tried out the new Tesla smart water bottle trick, highly recommend the autopilot cruise control here. Works out very well. Right now we're headed over to my brother's house where we're going to do the install today. We're going to swing by O'Reilly's and grab some coil spring compressors to rent. And we're going to actually use some normal jacks and jack stands today. In case you watched the last video, or if you haven't and you want a good laugh, check that out where we do the rear Dobinson springs using only a high lift jack. That was almost catastrophic, but we still have all of our fingers here. But stay tuned, we'll see how today's install goes, and we'll give you some final measurements on what kind of lift we get out of these springs and how they ride. Always helps to have the right tool for the job. We got these McPherson coil spring compressors, and it's gonna make life a lot easier. Alright guys, I'm going to start by taking out these 14mm nuts off the top of the top half. Alright guys, we got those top four 14mm nuts off the top of the strut. Now we're going to get the sway bar disconnected. It's a 19mm socket. We're going to zip it off real quick. Alright guys, so next we're going to take a 24mm socket to loosen up the inner control arm, lower control arm alignment adjusters. We're not moving them or taking them out, we're just taking them loose so the control arms will be able to swing away very easily. Alright guys, we have taken the front skid plate off so we can get to the front 24mm nut on the lower control arm. It's really a shame for a $60,000 off-road truck to come with a piece of plastic for a skid plate. Alright guys, so we got the nut off the bottom, or the back of the lower strut mount. We're going to leave the bolt in place for now. We put another nut back on top of the strut so that everything doesn't drop out as we take these bottom two 22mm bolts out of the lower control arm. Alright guys, got the long bolt out of the lower strut mount. Now we're going to take that other nut off. That'll give us our entire strut assembly out of here to start working on the coils. Also, be careful as you drop these down to not catch your CV boots. That would be terrible to tear a CV boot in the middle of an install like this. Now we have our struts out. Alright guys, so we got these coil spring compressors we rented. Let's just slide them on, slowly take each side down. Got just enough tension on this now with the coil spring compressors to get that loose. Now we can take the top pad off, which is what is this, 19mm. If you're not using an impact, you may have to use an adjustable wrench to hold the top from spinning. But see, when the impact gun, it still spins the whole shock, so we're gonna have to get I think it's an 8mm wrench on top of this to hold it while we turn a 19mm wrench to get it loose. show you guys while we're here. This is what's been filling on all the 4th gen Tacomas. This little part is pressed in and holds the actual bushing. And when you bottom out, it's just breaking this cast piece of metal here. We do have a solution for that coming. That'll be on another video, so if you want to see that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, out with the old spring, going in with the new. There's just a comparison here of the new spring versus the old spring. We got a lot more coils, a little bit more length on it as well. So guys, I want to show you this right now. When you go to put your top hat back on, in case you forgot the way it went, there's a little arrow right here that's pointing towards the front of the car. And this back tab is pointing inward towards the back right corner towards the driver. Alright guys, what happened was the coil spring compressors got in the way of the top hat being lined up with the eyelet. So we went ahead and bolted in the top hat. We're going to straighten out the eyelet to line it up. Something like You know, looking at it now in the O'Reilly's parking lot backed in, it actually sits really good. The front doesn't look higher at all. I'm about to take measurements. Well, it's the morning after, headed up to the local tire shop to get the alignment done. Me and my brother were able to eyeball it last night because I wouldn't have been able to drive back to my house the way it was sitting after the lift springs were on. So we just eyeballed the camber and the toe as best we could, and it's actually driving pretty well considering. But we'll see what tires, etc. can do for the alignment. Hopefully they're going to let me kind of help with it because I like to do this kind of stuff myself. I've been lucky enough to have a Firestone one morning allow me to do my own alignment at their shop, which was great on my 4Runner after lifting it. So pretty peculiar about an OCD about my truck. So I like knowing it's actually done correctly. Alright guys, so we just left the alignment shop. My man Will here at Tires Etc. in Pensacola got it knocked out. Did a great job. We were able to get the camber and toe dead on. The caster's just slightly off, but well within the green. Truck's driving great, tracking great. It's not pulling left or right or anything like that. So big shout out to them for getting me taken care of so quick this morning. I'll post a picture of the before and after alignment specs. See the before shot of where me and my brother eyeballed it yesterday. Actually wasn't too bad. I mean, it was driving decent enough. But next up we're gonna take a couple of drone shots, video of 360 before and after of the lift now being completely done. And then I think we're gonna head out somewhere off-road, just do a little light off-road today to get a little bit of video footage of the new DJI Neo drone I got, just to see how it tracks behind the truck. See how the suspension feels off-road. Initial impressions of the front springs right now, after put about 50 miles of driving on it, I would say it's a little stiffer than factory, but not too terrible. The measurements I took, now the alignment's been done, we got about 2 to 2 1/4 inches of lift out of the 822s, and again, this is on a hybrid Tacoma, so we got that extra weight on there, and Dobinson doesn't differentiate between the hybrid and non-hybrid on the front springs, which is kind of interesting to see. But we'll see in a couple months, or about 6 to 8 weeks lead time of when the bumper and winch come in. because that's going to be about 175 pounds of weight going on the front of the truck. So we'll see how much squat we get out of it then, and then also get it realigned. But we'll follow up with another video about how this rides off-road with all the springs finally installed.